2022 is a Thai monster film that presents a premise of a gigantic and bloodthirsty creature wreaking havoc on a town after its egg is stolen. This film opens in a village where a farmer brings his sheep to a lake to fish. It's raining and his neighbors are catching frogs nearby. Suddenly he notices a large egg with something moving inside, which fills him with fear and surprise. The farmer and the neighbors didn't know that a giant monster was moving towards them. Meanwhile, the lake monster comes out of the water and roars at them. Seeing this, everyone gets scared and starts screaming loudly. The farmer's wife also heard the screams of the farmer, so she immediately reaches here and she doesn't find anything other than her husband's coat there, which we understand that the lake monster killed everyone including his husband and ate them. Now this incident is also reported to the police there. A detective named James quickly arrives at the scene with his team to investigate the case. Seeing the wounds on the dead bodies, he understands that it must be done by a huge monster who escaped through water. After it, we see a young girl May wandering near that lake with her brother. A large paw print is visible here, but she ignores it and keeps moving forward. Suddenly they see a huge egg and May lift it up and brought it home. Her brother is also excited to see the egg, believing that their food situation is well taken care of. Later, he begins to preparing to cook the egg. Their elder sister Lynn forbids them to crack this egg and asks them to throw it out. She feels threatened, thinking the egg might belong to a monster and that the creature will emerge when they crack it. May becomes enraged by this thought and storms out of the house, taking the egg with her. She then sits by the lake with this egg, which is still moving as the creature inside tries to hatch. May waits beside it for the creature to emerge, unaware that she is in grave danger. Meanwhile, she sees the huge monster in the lake moving towards May while eating animals. May was out of the house for a long time, so her brother and sister Lynn comes out to look for her. When they comes to the lake shore, they see May's shoe floating in the water. Seeing this, Lynn starts crying and gets out of control because she feels her sister is drowned. Her brother goes into the water to find May, but soon they realize something wrong as they feel someone's presence. Then suddenly a creature comes out of the lake and attacks May's brother. But he somehow escaped, came out of the water and they start running. The creature also comes out and starts chasing them. They keep running and the creature comes to the fields and attacks the farmers. That's why they run here and there to escape. But the creature was running fastly, so it kills everybody one by one. Only Lynn and her brother was survived and they hide in the bushes. Getting a chance, Lynn takes her brother on the road because she somehow wants to leave from there. Her brother was badly injured. They take a lift on a car and leave from there. Similarly, they escaped from the bloodthirsty monster and this dangerous place. But they fail to realize that the monster's attacks on humanity has only just begun. The creature has already moved to the nearby area, ready to spread destruction. Lynn immediately takes her brother to the hospital and the doctors bandage them. Soon the police also got the news about the monster attack. They also find the news that 2 persons survived in this attack, means Lynn and her brother. The police captain asked Lynn about this incident and Lynn tells him about the lake creature. She tells him that the creature brutally killed all the farmers, but the captain doesn't believe. He returns to the police station, unaware that the creature has already attacked a nearby facility and killed many people. The captain soon gets this news and leaves for the center, but it was too late, because only dead bodies were visible there and none survived. Seeing the dead bodies' condition, the captain also believed that the lake monster is behind this destruction. That's why he starts planning with his people to kill it. During this, they discovered that the creature went to the lake after the attack, as it used the lake to hide. They have to capture that monster somehow, so the captain divides them into two teams. One of the teams was led by the detective James, and they make the whole plan to capture the creature. While leaving, James gets another bad news that he has to visit his daughter's school, as his daughter was a spoiled kid. She always fights in the school. Even today, she fought in the school, so James has to visit her school. He apologizes to the principal and leaves with his daughter for lake to lead his team about what to do. Lynn was taking care of her brother in the hospital, and her brother sees a nightmare in which he is trying to defeat that creature while fighting with it. Soon he wakes up and tries to talk to his sister Lynn, but realizes that he has lost his ability to speak due to the creature's attack. Lynn also notices that his behavior has become strange along with his physical condition. His body is secreting the same liquid as the creature, the same liquid that had covered the egg. He also sees a strange vision about the monster. Along with this, he was mentally attached with the creature. Even when the creature was attacking people, Lynn's brother was able to see it through the creature's eyes. So he immediately writes it on the paper, through which Lynn discovers the creature's location. On the other hand, the police captain reaches the center with his team to capture the creature. On the other side, the police captain reaches the center with his team to capture the creature. That's when Lynn comes and shows him the paper her brother wrote and says, "My brother can take you to the creature." Lynn then brings her brother here and he moves ahead to find the creature. The others follow him, and Lynn's brother points the building and says that creature is inside. They start throwing bombs on the creature, but these don't affect the creature except for making it furious. It attacks them. It was throwing them, but they somehow surround that creature. They succeed trapping it in a net while attacking it with their dangerous weapon. As they were beating the monster, we see Lynn's brother is also suffering from pain. Saying this, Lynn understands that her brother is somehow connected with that creature. So now he goes to the place where they are beating the creature and goes to the police captain to stop them. She says, "Stop them, otherwise my brother would die." Hearing this, the captain checks and finds the same marks on Lynn's brother's body as the creature had. So the creature had no other way except for capturing the creature. He locks the creature in his car to save him from death and asks his team to spy on the creature. The rest of the people don't want to leave this creature alive. That's why they surround the police and demand to end that creature, with which the life of Lynn's brother was also in danger. Meanwhile, Detective James and his companions arrive on the other side of the lake, where they discover a gigantic egg and the same paw print. Realizing it belongs to the lake monster, they conclude that This is the main monster, likely still in the water as the paw print is enormous. Since the creature causing destruction had much smaller paws, James realizes there must be more than one monster. Meanwhile, they get news about a survivor of monster's attack. It was none other than May. The detective was surprised to see her that May was in front of the monster for a long time, but it didn't kill her. She is still surviving. She still had that monster's egg with which she ran from the house. With this, James comes and sits in his car with the egg, and his companions notice a terrible thing in the lake that appeared in front of them in next moment. It was the gigantic lake monster. The paw mark also belonged to it. The creature spreading destruction in the city was its companion. Seeing it, the team starts shooting. Hearing this noise, the detective James also comes there and couldn't see anyone except for the blood on the scar. That means that giant monster killed everyone. Meanwhile, he sees an officer sitting in front who somehow escaped while hiding in the car. Suddenly, the giant monster comes, which was looking terrible. Seeing it, James hid behind the car. Then he realized that his daughter and May are in the car, so he contacts his daughter on radio and asks her to hide. His daughter sees the egg moving, and seeing the egg, the lake monster also comes towards them as it was its egg. Seeing it, Jane's daughter was about to scream, but May calms her down. Both are scared. The lake monster comes to the car and pushes it so that it could take its egg that was stolen. They are in danger, and seeing this, James concerned about his daughter and shoots the monster without thinking. But this makes the monster furious, due to which it attacks James with its tail, and he fell in the water. The officer who survived helps James to bring him out of the water. He also takes out the gas tank from the car while the monster was busy taking its egg back. Soon it breaks the car mirror. May escaped, but James's daughter starts screaming. She was inside the car, and before it could kill her, the officer shoots it while throwing gas tank on it. This caused a blast, but the officer was shocked to see that nothing happened to the monster. Now it moves to the officer and roars at him. He gets scared due to this and runs from there. The monster comes near the car to take its egg, and this time it takes its egg through its paws. Seeing this, James's daughter comes out of the car and runs, and realized that the monster was waiting for her to come out. It comes closer to her, roars, and then attacks her badly with its paws. James immediately comes out to save his daughter and shoots at a gas tank, which again caused an explosion, but still nothing happened to it. Now it leaves his daughter and comes to James. It roars at him, but before it could hurt James, it hears the monster's voice, who was being beaten by the people in the city. So it leaves James and moves towards the city to save its monster companion. James also gets a chance, and he takes his daughter to a nearby hospital. On the way, James realizes that her condition was worse and her injuries were bleeding. So he tries to stop her bleeding, but his daughter dies his hand. Due to this, he becomes sad and starts weeping. On the other hand, the police captain forbade people from attacking the monster, being unaware that a massive monster is approaching and destroying everything in its path. After a while, the giant monster reaches the place where that creature was. The lake monster becomes furious to see it locked in the car and starts roaring at everyone in anger. Seeing this, they get scared and run to escape. But the monster attacks them and moves ahead to save its companion, which makes the environment chaotic. The monster traps some people in a bus, and when it comes closer to eat them, they all are screaming, but the monster moved ahead to save its companion. They all understand that the monster didn't come here to harm them and tell this to the police. That monster's real target is the captain because he locked the creature. Knowing this, the captain realizes his mistake, that he should not capture that lake creature. Then he orders his team to leave the car in which the creature was, because the creature was coming towards it. The rest of the people get on the bus to leave the city and flee, but Lynn's brother notices that I am infected because of the monster's attack, so I should not go with them as I can be danger for others. He starts moving ahead that creature. Even Lynn was forbidding him to do so, but he doesn't listen to her. He says the last goodbye to his sister and moved ahead. He sits in the car in which that lake creature monster was. Lynn's brother wants to save everyone from the giant lake monster. That's why he takes the creature car far from there. The locked creature starts shouting due to it, and monster also hears it and starts chasing this car. But Lynn's brother drives the car speedily out of the city. Similarly, he saved the others. Lynn was sad because of her brother. Now the survivors come back the next morning, and among them Lynn also finds May, whom she hugs and weeps. James also wanted to take revenge on the monster for his daughter's death, and he suspects that May is connected with that monster. When he talked to the captain about it, he orders him not to open the case again because he does not want more people to know about the lake monster and any threat that may arise. James resigns his job because he wants to take revenge for his daughter's death, and his police force was forbidding him to do so. On the other side, we see that Lynn's brother, the monster, and the lake creature disappear somewhere. And then we see the time 5 years later. May has grown up, but even today she visits the lake. And then we see the time 5 years later. May has grown up, but even today she visits the lake. She doesn't know that James was in search for her for the last 5 years, and he finds her today. She was sitting at the lake along with her farm animals. James feels that he might be wrong, but the next moment the monster comes out of the lake and eats a sheep, but surprisingly it doesn't harm May. It was near her and May was loving it. It seems like they are close friends. James becomes furious to see this, so he chases May to her house. He confronts May and blames her for his daughter's death. But suddenly a small lake monster comes and attacks James. But before it could kill him, James burns his eyes with fire and saved himself. James decided to kill the monster, but before he could do this, he sees May sitting near the injured monster, and there was sadness in the eyes for the monster's condition. She was feeling bad for the monster, and there was sadness in her eyes for the monster's condition. She was feeling bad for the monster. Seeing this, James realized that his daughter would not come back, but the danger for others would increase if he do anything to the monster. He doesn't harm that monster but decides to know the truth about the lake monster. May brings him to a place and asks him to go into a cave. He goes inside while we see May is also infected like her brother. The snake-like insects come out of her mouth and her body was also changing. Now she will also become a monster like her brother because whoever gets infected turns into a monster. James moves ahead in those caves and finds Lynn's brother's clothes soaked in blood. Then he notices a light and approaches it, discovering that it is a temple where people are worshipping the lake monster. Due to the blood-stained monster drawing on the wall, but before he could draw any conclusions, he heard the breathing behind him, and when he looked behind, the lake monster was there, who was waiting for James to arrive. Will now perish since monsters adore those who they love. The monster will not spare those who harm the monsters. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching.